If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. Alright, Browns fans, brace yourselves, because Deshaun Watson just dropped a bombshell take that's bound to churn up some serious stomach trouble. After 3 roller coaster seasons that many would rather forget, the thought of Watson stepping back onto the Browns field seems like a nightmare. But hold on, what if the impossible actually happens? Max Loeb from Honor the Land recently floated an idea that's stirring the pot. Owner Jimmy Haslam might just toss Watson into a late season game next year. Not because he believes in the guy, but because it could be a strategic move to get something in return, a trade pick. Yeah, that's right. The man at the top might decide the season is lost and say, let's see what we've got here, using Watson as a kind of bait to reel in a future asset. Now, to be clear, this isn't about the coaching staff or front office warming up to Watson anytime soon. Max Loeb made it very clear that head coach Kevin Stefanski and GM Andrew Berry have pretty much slammed the door on Watson's future with the team. Their stance is firm. They don't want Watson anywhere near the starting lineup. But as we all know in the NFL, ownership sometimes plays a different game behind the scenes. Loeb pointed out that if anyone could push for Watson's return in a game with no playoff implications, it's Haslam. Imagine week 18, the season's already wrapped up for the Browns, and the rookies have taken their snaps. That's when Haslam might say, let's give Watson a shot to showcase his skills. Maybe someone out there sees potential and makes a move. This strategy isn't about believing Watson is the answer for Cleveland, far from it. It's more of a calculated chess move, where Haslam might be trying to turn Watson's residual value into something tangible for the Browns. If Watson plays well, even in a meaningless game, it might spark interest from other teams who are desperate enough to roll the dice on him. So while Stefanski and Berry keep the door shut, Haslam could keep it just cracked open enough to maneuver in the trade market. It's a risky and controversial tactic, especially considering the rocky relationship between Watson and Browns fans. But hey, that's NFL business, and make no mistake, fans aren't exactly thrilled about the idea of seeing Watson back on the Browns' turf. After all, his 3 years in Cleveland have been mired in injuries, off-field distractions, and inconsistent play. Many fans would much rather see the young guns Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel get a shot in that final game of the season. They're the future, after all, and watching Watson on the field might feel like a step backward. But the brutal reality is that if Haslam's plan works, Watson could still be Cleveland's bargaining chip for a draft pick or two next offseason. Even if it leaves fans scratching their heads, what's interesting here is the internal dynamic. This scenario exposes the front office and coaching staff are clearly aligned on moving past Watson. Stefanski and Berry's approach suggests a clean break, focusing on youth and rebuilding. But Haslam's potential move reflects a more business-oriented mindset, where the optics of the situation might take a back seat to the possibility of asset management. It's a classic ownership versus coach tug-of-war, and Browns fans are caught right in the middle. Could we see tension flare behind the scenes if Haslam orders Watson onto the field against the wishes of his football staff? It's a possibility. That adds an extra layer of drama. For Browns supporters, this entire scenario is a tough pill to swallow. Watson's time with Cleveland hasn't been defined by success, and many are eager to move on and build around a new talent. Yet, here we are, contemplating the idea that the man who's been a lightning rod for frustration might get one last hurrah. Not because he earned it on the field, but because it serves a bigger business-driven purpose. It's a reminder that the NFL isn't just about wins and losses. It's a complex ecosystem where strategy, assets, and front office decisions intertwine. Watson's story with the Browns might not be finished, even if most hope it is. Looking ahead, it'll be fascinating to see how this plays out. If Watson indeed steps back onto the field late next season, the reaction from the fan base will be electric, likely more anger than excitement. Meanwhile, the rookies and young quarterbacks in the Browns system will be waiting in the wings, ready to claim their time and show that the franchise is moving forward. Watson's cameo, if it happens, might be brief and purely transactional, but it will definitely spark debate across social media and Browns forums. Is it worth it to risk alienating fans for the chance at a trade pick? That's the gamble Haslam might be willing to take. Ultimately, this situation encapsulates the drama and unpredictability that makes the NFL so compelling. A star quarterback once hailed as a savior now finds himself potentially used as a pawn in a larger chess game. The Browns are a team in transition, and every decision from the front office to the field is under the microscope. Deshaun Watson's future in Cleveland looks uncertain, and while the door seems closed by some, ownership might just hold the key to cracking it open again. For Browns fans, it's a tough story to watch unfold, but it's also a reminder that in professional sports, nothing is ever truly over until the final whistle blows. So, Browns Nation, prepare yourselves for a wild ride. Deshaun Watson's name is far from buried, and even if most want to forget his Browns chapter, Jimmy Haslam's potential game-time gamble could force fans to face him once more. Whether as a trade asset or a flash in the pan, Watson's journey in Cleveland might have one more act. And when that moment comes, the emotions will be high, the opinions louder, and the stomachs of Browns fans will definitely be in knots. This is NFL drama at its finest, folks. Messy, unpredictable, and utterly captivating. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Alright folks, brace yourselves, because the NFL world is buzzing with one of the most shocking rumors we've heard in a long time. Aaron Donald, yes, the Aaron Donald, the defensive powerhouse who has dominated offensive lines for years, might be on the verge of shaking up the league in a way no one expected. The chatter? A mega deal, unprecedented in scale and impact, that could send him straight to the Cleveland Browns. That's right. The Browns, a team that has long chased greatness, could be the next home of one of the NFL's fiercest defenders. This is not just a routine trade rumor, it's the kind of blockbuster news that could redefine the NFL landscape for years to come. If this goes down, it would mark a seismic shift, not just for Cleveland, but for the entire league's balance of power. Now let's break down why this potential mega agreement has the NFL universe on edge. Aaron Donald isn't just any defensive tackle. He's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. A disruptor who changes games with his explosive speed, power, and football IQ. Bringing a talent like that to the Browns would instantly elevate their defense to an elite status. Cleveland has been building a strong team over recent seasons with a solid offense and promising young players on defense, but adding Donald could be the missing puzzle piece that transforms them into true Super Bowl contenders. The Browns have been desperate to make a splash in free agency or trades, and this move, if real, could be their statement of intent to the entire NFL. Financially speaking, the mega deal part of the rumor hints at a contract that would break new ground in the NFL's salary cap era. Aaron Donald is already among the highest paid defensive players in the league, but Cleveland would need to go all in, pushing their cap space and resources to the limit. This raises big questions about the Browns' financial strategy and future roster moves. How will this mega contract affect their ability to keep other key players or attract new talent? Will they have to sacrifice elsewhere to fit Donald's contract? These are the tough questions Cleveland's front office will have to answer, and their decisions will be watched closely by fans and analysts alike. This deal could redefine what it means to invest in defense in today's NFL. From a strategic standpoint, Aaron Donald's arrival in Cleveland could send a message across the league. The Browns are no longer just a team with potential, they are here to compete now. Donald's ability to disrupt opposing offenses would not only boost the defense, but also create more opportunities for the Browns' offense by forcing turnovers and controlling the game's tempo. His presence could elevate the entire defensive unit's performance, mentoring younger players and changing the mindset of the team. This move would bring an undeniable aura of toughness and championship caliber intensity to the Browns, possibly influencing their culture and expectations for years to come. Of course, the ripple effects of this rumor extend far beyond Cleveland. The Rams, Donald's current team, would be dealing with the loss of arguably their most dominant player. How would they fill that massive void? Will they use the cap space freed by this mega deal to rebuild a defensive line or pursue other big-name free agents? The domino effect in the league could be massive, shifting the power dynamics in both conferences. Teams watching this play out will surely be rethinking their own offseason plans. And for fans, it means new rivalries and storylines to follow as the NFL gears up for another thrilling season of drama, competition, and unforgettable moments. Adding to the intrigue, sources close to the situation suggest that this mega agreement is not just about money, it's about legacy. Aaron Donald is at a point in his career where he's thinking about his impact on the game and his place in history. Joining the Browns, a franchise hungry for success and eager to shed its underdog label, could be the perfect stage for Donald to cement his legacy as more than just a dominant player, but as a transformative figure in NFL history. This isn't just a business move. It's a statement about where Donald wants to take his career in the final years of his prime. Fans and analysts alike are speculating how this could influence the Browns' coaching strategy. Head coach Kevin Stefanski, known for his offensive creativity and leadership, would now have a defensive cornerstone to build around. How will this shape their draft choices, defensive schemes, and overall game plans? Having Aaron Donald on the roster might allow Cleveland to take more risks offensively, knowing that defense can handle pressure. It also opens up exciting possibilities for hybrid defensive looks and aggressive pass rush packages. The Browns' identity could evolve quickly, making them one of the most exciting teams to watch in the next NFL season. Social media is already ablaze with reactions from fans, former players, and experts. Some are calling it a game changer, others a bold gamble. But one thing is clear, the mere possibility of Aaron Donald joining Cleveland has reignited hope among Browns fans, who have waited years for a move of this magnitude. Meanwhile, rival teams are surely reassessing their plans, knowing that if this deal happens, they'll have to step up their game to compete. It's a moment filled with anticipation and excitement, a story that promises plenty of twists as the offseason unfolds. As this rumor develops, the pressure mounts on the Browns front office to make official moves and announcements. Negotiations of this scale are complex, involving not just player contracts, but also salary cap management, team chemistry considerations, and long-term planning. The Browns' ability to pull this off will be seen as a major indicator of their ambitions and organizational prowess. For Aaron Donald, it could mean embarking on a new chapter filled with challenges and opportunities, the chance to lead a franchise to glory and potentially rewrite NFL history. In the end, whether this mega agreement becomes reality or remains just a tantalizing rumor, one thing is for sure: the NFL landscape is buzzing like never before. Aaron Donald heading to the Cleveland Browns would not just be a trade or contract, it would be a seismic event with ripple effects felt across the league. As fans, we can only watch closely, speculate wildly, and prepare for the possibility of witnessing one of the most epic shifts in NFL history. Stay tuned, because if this rumor turns real, the NFL will never be the same again. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!